Hello, hello. It's Naveen with Naveen's Cuisine. And today is a pretty cold day out there and rainy. So I'm thinking of a nice tarte tatin or apple galette, which is a classic French apple tart. And we're going to use some Granny Smith, butter, of course, cinnamon, some cloves, some nutmeg, lemon juice, and also I'm making some brown sugar. So right now I put half a cup of sugar in here. We're gonna wait for it till it caramelizes and bubbles. Meantime, I'm gonna be peeling and slicing some of these Granny Smith apples, and we're gonna mix it up in a bowl with lemon juice and spices. Stay tuned. So I'm gonna take the core out and seeds and slice, and you can do it with a slicer or with a sharp paring knife. Meantime, I got the sugar caramelizing on the stove, and we're gonna use puff pastry for that. And the difference between this tarte tatin and just a regular apple pie is that the crust is actually on top instead of the bottom, and then when it's all cooked and ready to go, it's inverted on a platter, so the apples are at the bottom and the pastry's on top, and then when you invert it, then the pastry goes on the bottom and then the apple on top. So my sugar is nice and browned. I'm gonna squeeze some lemon in there. Be careful because it might sizzle a bit. Put like a few drops of lemon in there. You keep on stirring. We're gonna put 7 ounces of butter. Slice them up, one tablespoon at a time. I'm sorry, 7 tablespoons. And we're gonna keep stirring it until the butter is melted. Looks beautiful and nice and rich. In the meantime, we're gonna get the pie pan ready, and this is just what is that, an 8-inch pan. And once the butter is all melted, we're just gonna throw it in the pan and start arranging the apple slices on top. So I got my apples ready. You can do it little slices, big slices. I'm kind of did like chunky slices, and then I will squeeze in the rest of the lemon. Lemon and apples are just beautiful together. Citrus, wonderful. And I will throw in a dash of cinnamon, cloves, and how about a little nutmeg? And this recipe is from a hotel very famous in France called Tatin, T-A-T-I-N. So it's Tarte Tatin. And in other parts of the countryside of France, it's also called pomme, galette de pomme, which means apple galette. Pomme is apples in French. So the galette means a rustic tart, and that will be the rustic apple tart. So now we got all these spices here. We'll squeeze some more fresh lemon, and that's going to be ready to go in the pan in a few. So now that the butter and the sugar, everything is nice and softened, melted together, we're going to put it at the bottom of the pan. Beautiful. Then we will arrange the apple slices, and you can cram them together, don't worry, because apples are gonna shrink anyway. So we're gonna put them, it doesn't have to be in a specific order. We have the oven going at 400. So after we arrange the apple slices, we're gonna throw it in the oven for about 15 minutes, just so we can par cook them, and then we'll get them out, cool them for 10 minutes. Then we're gonna throw over the puff pastry when we get that prepared. Well, hello again, or bonsoir, mes amis. So anyway, to continue our galette or our tarte tatin, we partially cooked the apples in the nice caramel cinnamon sauce for about 15 minutes, took it out, cool it. Now I picked up a frozen puff pastry, a sheet of it, and now we're gonna cut it around. This is the same size of the pan we're gonna be putting it on. So I'm gonna be cutting around, just leave a little extra on the side so it can overlap a little bit and seal the apples in there. Pretty easy. You can make your own puff pastry, but who wants to do that now, right? And I have a lot of recipes to do. I kind of tend to go a little easy. So here is the pan. Here are the apples. They look gorgeous. And this is gonna go on top. We're gonna try to seal the sides as such. It's still a little gloomy out there. The sun keeps peeping in a little bit, but so nothing like a nice little slice of tart with a cup of tea or hot cocoa to warm up them cold bones. And then we're gonna poke some little incisions so when the steam comes up, it doesn't really destroy the puff pastry. That's gonna go in about maybe 35 to 40 minutes. Right now we're gonna reduce the oven heat from 400 after the apples were partially cooked. We're gonna reduce that to 375, and about 35 to 40 minutes when the beautiful crust is all nice and golden. And the reasoning behind partially cooking the apples, waiting to cool off, put the puff pastry on top is it doesn't create so much moisture, the apples being cooked, the steam. So you want to cook it halfway out so the steam comes out, and now when you put the puff pastry on, it's not all steamy. See you in 35 minutes.